So I'm in Nanton. So Nanton is a little locality, small town, you would say, or more like a small hamlet, about an hour south of Calgary. It's a place where I had a rather distasteful experience many years ago, but also a very uplifting one. So what happened was that I happened to be passing through this place about 15 years ago, approximately. It's kind of on the way to a favorite destination of ours, Waterton. So if you want to go to Waterton, you sort of have to pass through Nanton. So I happened to be passing through Nanton. I was accompanied by my family, my wife, my son, who was just a few months old at that time, my mother-in-law, and a nanny was also with us. We happened to be passing through this place, and we decided to stop and get some fuel at this local gas station here. So, and then after getting gas, we decided, well, maybe we'll stop by for lunch because there's this restaurant that's attached to the gas station. So we parked our car and we walked inside and we lined up. There were a couple of people ahead of us. So the host comes, takes one party, goes ahead and seats them, comes back, takes another party, goes ahead and seats them as well. And now we're first in line. But then what happens is the person returns, and what they do is they go behind us and take the people who had come after us and goes and seats those people. And then comes back again and takes the next party that's behind us and goes and seats those people. And so this carries on for quite a period of time, good 15, 20 minutes. We've been standing there. We haven't been acknowledged at all. People are arriving behind us, and as they are arriving, the host comes, takes them, and seats them in the restaurant. Initially we didn't think very much of it, right? Because you don't know, maybe there's some reason. So, but it's been going on for quite some time. We've been waiting for about 20 minutes now. In the meantime, quite a few people who have arrived behind us have been seated, and we're still standing there, and no one has even acknowledged us. So after a while, we decide, well, maybe we'll just go and seat ourselves, because even though the restaurant is quite full, there are some tables that are empty. So we go ahead and seat ourselves, and expecting that at some point in time someone will come and attend to us. But 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes go by. Customers are coming in, they're being seated, servers are attending to them, their orders are being taken, their food starts to arrive. In the meantime, not a single person has acknowledged us, not a single person has talked to us. And then after a while, of course, it starts to dawn on us that, well, the reason actually we're not being attended to is because of who we are, what we look like. We look around and we're the only dark-skinned people there. We're the only people who you would consider ethnic minorities in this place. It's been about 40 minutes since we arrived, 20 odd minutes waiting to be seated, and then we've been sitting here at this table for about 20 minutes now, and we decide, well, we're going to get up and leave. And as we're walking out, we can see some of the workers standing to the back of the restaurant, laughing amongst themselves, kind of smirking. So anyway, we carried on after that to our destination. Of course, it was a very unpleasant kind of experience, a very distasteful one, humiliating even. It was a very anger-provoking incident. But, we sort of carried on our way and made the best of it. And then after that, I came through Nanton many, many times because, of course, it lay on the way to our favorite destination and we would go there every year. But I never set foot in that restaurant again until about 7 years after the fact. So 7 years have gone by, and like before, once again, we are headed to Waterton. But this time I decided I am going to stop. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to see if we get the same treatment as we did last time. And of course, by this time, 7 years have gone by. I've changed a little bit too. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if you get the same experience, well, this time I'm not just gonna get up and leave. I'm gonna say something. So we walk in and we line up as before. Within a minute, the host, who's the manager, host comes up to us. Hello, sir. How many in your party? And within a minute, we're seated. Now the host is Indian. So we're sitting at the table. Within a minute, our server arrives, and the server is Filipino. So we look around the restaurant. In the 7 years that have elapsed, everything has changed. The manager of the restaurant is Indian. The servers, most of them Filipino. The place is busy. Everybody's being attended to. Everybody's being taken care of. So the distasteful part was what we experienced in that first time that we were there. And the really uplifting part was our second experience. I can tell you, it's one of the best experiences that I've had at a restaurant. What was great about it was that even though the manager was Indian, the servers were mostly, Filipino, they weren't discriminating against white people, right? It wasn't like they were just selecting people from the queue at the front who looked like them and just seating them and just attending to them. So that was really fabulous to see. So what's the moral of the story? So, over the course of the years that I've been in Canada, which is 40 years now, this experience that I had as this restaurant, it wasn't the first time that I'd experienced racism, right? I've had innumerable experiences of racism, many very overt, being called names and Paki, names like that, go back where you came from, so things like that. And so those are the overt experiences. And then, of course, there's this covert kind of sly kind of racism that you experience, where people like this, where people will not attend to you and they'll ignore you or they'll dismiss you. And those experiences have come from all kinds of people like this. At this restaurant, at other establishments, where you're not treated with respect and with dignity. So I've experienced racism from professors at university. In fact, actually, within my own profession, I'm a trained psychologist. Within my own profession, there are psychologists who are racist, right? So you'll get that. So the moral of the story is that you're going to run into people who will try to demean you, diminish you, oppress you, and attack your dignity and your self-respect. And that's what it's been like for me too. Despite all the negative experiences that I've had, despite all the racism that I've experienced living here in Canada, I never really let that diminish me. If I succeeded, it was because of that. Because I never let these negative experiences stop me. So that's what I would say to you as well. You're going to have negative experiences in your life as well. Don't get sidetracked. Don't lose focus. Aim high. Tell me what you thought of this video. I'd be very interested in hearing your opinion about what I've been talking about in here. I'd also be very interested in hearing about your experiences, about how you are overcoming challenges in your life and trying to get ahead in life. Right? So I'd be very interested in hearing that. So in conclusion, I'll say this to you. Even though I've experienced a lot of racism from white people in Canada, but really some of the nicest people I've met in the world have also been white people, just selfless people, just amazing people who have helped me and had no reason to do that. You didn't know me, didn't have any relationship with me, and well, they were white people too. So I'll be back with another video. Good luck and take care.